Wes,
Okay, hello everyone. Today we're from Group 2, gonna do some presentation about statistic classical assumption tags, which we have 7 subtests. Before we starting the presentation, let me introduce myself and my team. Which the first one we have Debbie alias Zakira with real last digit name 137. The second one is me, Nabila Safia, with real last digit name 109. Then Lauren Revalika with real last digit name 102. Ofisa Kita with real last digit name 110. Jessica Krisnabella with real last digit name 139. Malika Rizky Nova with real last digit name 122. Cindy Nuzul Pramesti with real last digit name 140. Nitya Raya Sahda with real last digit name 125. The presentation we do is gonna tell you guys about theory, step analysis, and result and interpretation.
classical assumption test. The classical assumption test is a statistical requirement that must be met in multiple linear regression analysis based on ordinary least square or OLS. The purpose of this classical assumption test is to provide certainty that the regression equation obtained has accuracy in estimation, is unbiased and consistent. Please note, there is a possibility that the actual data does not meet all of these classical assumptions. Several improvements, both rechecking outlier data and recalling error data can be made. The classical assumption test consists of the first one is normality test, multicollinearity test, autocorrelation test, linearity test, and the last one is heteroscedasticity test.
The first one is normality test, which normality test is to see whether the residual value is normally distributed or not. A good regression model has a normally distributed residual value, so the normality test is not performed on its variable but on its residual value. A common mistake is that the normality test is performed on each variable. This is not prohibited, but the regression model requires normality in its residual value, not in each result variable. The normality test can be seen from the result of the plot histogram that is normally distributed in the point follow line. The step is the first one, which we could open the file and choosing the file that about classical assumption, then OK. Then change the file type to Excel and then open. Total data is changed into variable x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6, and y. Then to measure each x and y, change the scale. Select x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, and 6, x6. Then enter independent. Select y, then enter dependence. The step 6 is we call to analyze regression and linear. After that, select save, check the unstandardized section, then choose OK. The step 9 is we do the same thing, which select analyze, then non-pragmatic tests, then legacy dialogues, and then sample KS. Step 10, we could select unstandardized, then enter it into the test variable list, then OK. Step 11 is the last step, which the data above is normally distributed. This can be seen from the value of a zim, with sigma 2 tailed more than alpha from 0.2000 more than 0.05.
The multicollinearity test. The multicollinearity test is to see whether or not there is a high correlation between independent variable in a multiple linear regression model. If there is a high correlation between the independent variables, then the relationship between the independent variables and the dependent variable is disrupted. The presence or absence of multicollinearity in the data can be seen from the coefficient table. Based on the VIF table, the V value is more or less than 10, so that the data does not experience multicollinearity. In the addition to above method, multicollinearity can be seen from the tolerance value. If tolerance minus alpha in 0.5, then the data is free from multicollinearity. From the tolerance table, 0.5. This is this is the step of multicollinearity test. First, the previous data without changing anything, then select the analysis, then regression, and then linear. The step 2 is select x1, x2, x3, x5, 4, x5, x8, then select J, then enter dependence. Then select the statistica. Next, Sophie. Step 3 is after that, check the collinearity diagnosis, then select the continuous OK button and done.
Number 3 is autocorrelation test. Autocorrelation test is a statistical analysis conducted to determine whether there is a correlation between variable in the prediction model with change in time, because the sample is influenced by the sample value in the previous year. Autocorrelation assumption can be detected by various types of analysis, namely the Durbin-Waston test, the Bruce-Godfrey test, and the Ego-Arch test. If the data used in time series data, an assumption test is needed so that the data is free from autocorrelation. The autocorrelation test can be seen in the model summary in the Durbin-Waston column. The summary table only explains the Waston-Durbin value, so you have to look for the upper Durbin or DU and lower Durbin or DL value in the Waston-Durbin table. First step is continue the previous data without changing anything, then select Analyze, Regression, then Linear. Next step is select X1, X2, X3, X4, X5, and X6, then enter independent. Select Y, then enter it into dependent, then select Statistic Check the Durbin-Waston section, uncheck the collinearity diagnosis section, then continue. The final step is select OK.
Heteroscedasticity test. The heteroscedasticity test is to see if there is inequality or variance from one residual to another observation. A regression model that meets the requirement is where there is equality of variance from one residual to another observation remain, or is called homoscedasticity by Ghazali 2006. There are several ways that can be used to conduct heteroscedasticity tests, including based on the image above, it can be seen that points do not form a certain pattern or flow, so it can be concluded that there is no heteroscedasticity. This test is prone to errors because it is still subjective, so the Glaser test can be used. The steps in the Glaser test are as follows. Step 1, continue the previous data without changing anything, then select transform, then computer variable. And then fill in the target variable with abs res press function group, select arithmetic, look at the bottom of the function and special variables, then select the apps with double click until the word ABS appears in the numeric expressions. If the ABS has appeared, enter res1 into the numeric expression. This will become ABS.
After ABS underscore res1 appear, then select Analyze, Regression, and then Linear. Next. And then X1 until X6 still included in independent. Y is removed and replaced with ABS underscore res1. And choose Save. After that, remove the tick in the unstandardized section. After that, continue. Then select OK. Based on the result of the SPSS output, it is known that the significance value of x1 is 0.350 and the significance of x2 is 0.190. This value is greater than alpha, so it can be concluded that the data is normally distributed.
Linearity test. Linearity test is one of the experiments carried out in correlation analysis or linear regression. This test aims to determine whether the three variables that have been set in this case, namely two independent variables and one dependent variable, have a linear relationship or not significant. Continue with the various data without change anything, then select Analyze, Compare Mean. As before, select X1, X2, X3, X4, X5, and X6 and put in independent. Select Y, then put it in dependent, then select Option. Check the test for linearity section, then continue. And last step, select OK. Here are the results. The significant value of deviation from linearity 0.113 more than 0.05 indicates a significant linear relationship between TEI and TKP. Because F count is 1.809 less than F table 2.26, then there is a significant linear relationship between TEI and TKP. The significant value of deviation from linearity 0.569 more than 0.05 indicates a significant linear relationship between TEI and TEB. Because F count is 0.839 less than F table 1.99, then there is a significant linear relationship between TEI and TEB.
The significant value of deviation from linearity 0.000 less than 0.05 indicates that there is no significant linear relationship between TEI and TKI because F count 5.911 more than F table 2.06. There is no significant linear relationship between TEI and TKI. The significant value of deviation from linearity 0.218 more than 0.05 indicate a significant linear relationship between TEI and TPB because F count 1.327 less than F table 1.88 there is a significant linear relationship between TEA and TPB. The significant value of deviation from linearity 0.2264 more than 0.05 indicate a significant linear relationship between TEA and TFN. Because Fcon 1.246 less than F table 1.88, there is a significant linear relationship between TEA and TSN. The significant value of deviation from linearity 0.495 more than 0.05 indicates significant linear relationship between TEA and TKW because Fcon 0.943 less than F table 1.88, there is a significant linear relationship between TEA and TKW. The conclusion. The classical assumption test aims to ensure that the linear regression model meets the requirement for valid and reliable result. The normality test ensures that the distribution of residual data is close to normal. The multicollinearity test detects high correlation between independent variables. The autocorrelation test checks residual dependency. The heteroscedasticity test ensures the uniformity of residual verifies the linear relationship between independent and dependent variables. If these assumptions are met, the resulting regression model can provide accurate estimates and proper interpretation of results.
So I guess that's all from our team. Thank you for paying attention to us and see you in another video.